Hey guys, you know, I'll be really glad when they pull the plug on hip hop. There's a book that I read before President Trump became president. It was a book that he had wrote with Robert Katowski. Robert Katowski, for those of you who don't know who he is one of the ones that is uh, the author of the best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad. Um, it's something that both of them said in the book that they wrote called Why We Want You to Be Rich. This was before President Trump became President Trump. It's five things that a person must have in order to become wealthy. And that is leverage, control, creativity, expandability, and predictability. Now, hip hop. In the beginning, hip hop had leverage. They did. And I'm gonna tell you when I saw that they had leverage. Um, the first song, "Rapper's Delight," by the Sugar Hill Gang. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it came out in 1979. How I remember it, I had flunked the fourth grade. Yeah, so that's how I remember when it came out. So, okay, at that time, hip hop had leverage. It did. Why? Because that was the first song that went mainstream very well. Okay. Like I said, you have leverage, control, creativity, expandability, and predictability. Okay. So we're going to go with control. I would say from that time, from the song Rapper's Delight all the way up to when Run DMC came out with their platinum selling album Raising Hell. And they came out with the song My Adidas. And they were able to negotiate a very lucrative deal for themselves for that gym shoe line. That was control. Why? It brought them more things. They came out with the movie, I believe it was Tougher Than Leather, if I'm not mistaken. They started getting more into producing. They came across what the Beastie Boys, and on and on and on and on, right? This was the golden era of hip hop. So, like I said, that's leverage, control, creativity. Okay, hip hop don't have that anymore. They don't. I mean, don't get me wrong. Every once in a while, I may hear something that I will remember to maybe consider to play again and again and again. However, back in the day, we can go on the golden era of hip hop. Well, creativity was at its best. Okay, those days are not here anymore. I'd be so glad when they pull the plug on hip hop because hip hop, you almost, you ever felt like when you ate something and it just don't set right with your stomach until you go get some KO Pate, right, or some Pepto Bismol, or any other type of medicine that will greatly eradicate that discomfort. That's how I feel about hip hop today. So I said leverage, control, creativity, expandability. Okay, hip hop has expanded as far as it's going to go. See, to me, hip hop was not supposed to be big. It wasn't. I mean, I'm glad that it did what it did, but it's not designed for that. No, hip hop came from people of poverty who was going into their parents' record collection while their parents was at work playing their LPs, knowing they wasn't supposed to be doing that because they get their butt whipped if one of them records got scratched. And they came across it by mistake and it blew up. So, like I said, leverage, control, creativity, expandability, predictability. Okay, hip hop has went as far as it can go. Really, it's time to pull the plug on hip hop because now all you talk about is stuff that's not important. When I was coming up, hip hop had a message. It did. Whether that message was get on the dance floor and dance, the song Breaking with rapper Ice T, he was talking about DJing, but the way that he talked about it, it captured and satisfied and mesmerized your attention to make you go out and buy the song and see the movie. Hip hop doesn't do that today. If hip hop was not uh, supported by corporations, the plug on hip hop would have been plugged. So, like I said, I got leverage, control, creativity, expandability, and predictability. Now, here's where I said before to me, hip hop is already dead. You know, when a person organs start to shut down and they're on life support and they can go on and plug the plug, that's hip hop today. Because most of these artists out here, I understand that, you know, they signed and touring and hear themselves on the radio, the internet, and social media, not to mention the women. I'll get down. Okay, okay, I got all of that. It wasn't their fault they wasn't born in the time of hip hop's leverage, control, creativity, expandability, and predictability. They wasn't around for that. So, you know, they probably you know what? I even seen some rappers that said that they about to stop rapping. They some of them do see it. For me, it's just how many times can you talk about a subject with no substance in it? It's that's imagine like making some Kool Aid without sugar. Not too pleasant taste, is it? Nope. So much so, I really can't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I couldn't even recite a rap of an artist today, not off the top of my head. We got mumble rap. Now, mind you, like Kendrick Lamar, he tight. I like him, you know. But again, when I was coming up, there was thousands of Kendrick Lamars everywhere. That was normal. Okay, today, no, nope, 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 nope. And how you could tell that hip hop, they need to pull the plug on hip hop. It didn't went as far as it can go. For real. When you listen to a track, the same, the usual common description of a hip hop track is uh, whereas when I was coming up, you hear the difference? Now, if you had to spend his old Motown way, if you had to spend your last $2 on a cup of coffee or something of that nature, would you spend it on the first beat that I did of today's hip hop music, or would you spend it on the second beat of the golden hip hop era? Or go to McDonald's? You see what I'm saying? And they done stripped everything down. You know, hip hop is gutted. Like I said, when I heard Rapper's Delight, Rapper's Delight was a sampled hip hop musical composition. Yes, it was. But let's look at the musical ingredients that made it so compelling that it went mainstream and brought hip hop all the way up to this point. It was sampled by Chic from the hit song Good Times, which they had excellent bass guitars, excellent lead guitars, two women that pretty much did the lead singing, an excellent real drummer. So all they had to do was sample it and put the lyrics behind it. I said a hip hop, the hip it to the hip hop, and you don't stop the rocker to the bang bang boogie. So up jumps the boogie to the rhythm of the boogity beat. Now what you hear is not a test. I'm rapping to the beat. You hear the rich storytelling in that. Now dig up a song today, and I think one I heard, I'm coming in hot. I'm coming in hot. Oh, where you coming from? What did you do to come in at that temperature level? You see the minus in it? Don't get me wrong. If it wasn't for the engineers that knew how to tap the frequencies in the brain with those drum machines, that song wouldn't have went anywhere. Now, this is not criticizing the artist because I understand, the artist is, a young adult in this time. Not, see, I'm 51, not 40 years ago when hip hop became mainstream and it had an abundance of leverage, control, creativity, expandability, and predictability. It does not have that today. So, viewers, put in the comments section, do you think that the plug on hip hop needs to be pulled? And put down, if you do, why? If you don't, why? I really want to know, because in my opinion, it needs to go. It really does. You can't play hip hop in anywhere. Like, you could take Rappers Delight, you could play Rappers Delight anywhere today. And they talking about having sex. But it's the way he did it. Well, he said, what she say? Let me quit my boyfriend Superman because he's a fairy. I do suppose flying through the air with pantyhose. He may be very sexy or even cute, but he looks like a sucker in a blue and red set. So he needs a man. She needs a man who got finesse and his whole name across the chest. He may be able to fly all through the night, but can you rock a party to the early light? He might satisfy you with his little worm, but I can bust you out with my super sperm. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Do it. Do it. And I'm here. And I'm there. I'm Big Back Hank. I'm everywhere. And I think Big Back Hank passed away. R.I.P. Do you see the difference? Today's song, you really can't hear what they even saying. And don't get me wrong, I can hear really well. I'm from the hood. I can hear. I really can't hear too well from what they saying. Like I said, a song coming in hot, 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 coming in hot. Okay, you coming in hot. Where you coming from? Why are you at that specific temperature level? But again, could take Rapper's Delight. You could take any part of Rapper's Delight and automatically hear leverage, control, creativity, expandability, and predictability. Can't you? Of course you can. But in today's music, you hear the complete opposite. No leverage, no control, no creativity, no expandability, and no predictability. So like I said, viewers, put in the comment section, do you think that the plug needs to be pulled on hip hop? I do. I want to know. Don't forget to smash that like button. And to my new viewers, welcome. Don't forget to hit that like button. And don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Because I cover all kind of different subjects, you know what I'm saying? All kinds, So you don't want to miss out. Ow. Get down.